Forgot about the secret entrance.
What are we up to today?
We are headed to Venice Golds on the west side. We're gonna catch a lift with my good friend Austin, Austin's a beast. Austin's barely human, he's so strong. So, a great person to lift with because I know he's gonna push me to my absolute limit. We're gonna hit upper chest, shoulders, which is always my favorite gym day. And you know, we might play some pickleball afterward too because there's pickleball courts in Santa Monica, really close to where the gym is. So, it's gonna be a good day. What's good?
What's up, dog?
How's it going?
You've gotten bigger
Got
since I saw you last.
So have you.
Good, dude.
Appreciate it, dude. It's crazy that we met in an LA Fitness across the street from my crib.
Yeah.
That was so random.
Yeah, that was super random.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came up and talked to me then, though.
Yeah, it was just rare that I find someone that's like competitive about lifting in that gym.
Yeah.
Like, not to knock anyone else, it's just a lot of beginner people, and so I was like, oh wow, this dude lifts.
Yeah.
What's good? What's going on?
Yeah, man. It's crazy how far things have come since then. Like, you were just kind of starting, right?
Yeah. I had like 20K on Instagram
Yeah.
back in the day of 1% of my following.
Well, honestly, like, my girl and I both, like, followed you right then, and, like, we talked about it, and we're like, oh, he's gonna go.
Oh,
like,
that's
because
nice.
this is, like, the quality of stuff you were putting out, like, when you were just starting out, was so much better than anything else anyone was doing.
Oh, dude.
And it's just like, yeah, this is, and it's so helpful. And the format is just like, it's not, look at me, it's not whatever, it's just like, here's what's gonna benefit you, here's the information as fast as possible and easy to remember as possible.
Yeah.
And just visually clean. ASMR. It's like watching Leslie said it's like watching what's it called? Do a body or something. Like, it's so detailed. Like
American
Dexter
Psycho.
almost, yeah.
No, one of my friends said that the best kind of content, or content in general that succeeds, entertains, educates, or inspires, and the best content does all three.
Yeah.
And so an obsession over lighting and shot composition and stuff helped frame a lot of the way that the content's evolved now. But now we're looking to shake things up. Now we're looking to pull out really, really high quality cameras beyond just iPhone for food.
Yeah.
Because so much of the brand that I have is absorbed around that.
Yeah. Was
Almost
that all your top-down shit's iPhone?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks great. That's how I filmed that camera repair video that I just did. It looks great. Like, people are like, that fucking top-down shot looked better than the real camera. I said, don't say that. That's the front camera on my iPhone. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's not the one I
spent way
dropped
too
in.
much money on that one.
What workout we doing today?
We're hitting some shoulders, right?
Yeah.
I used to go one notch from vertical. Now I pretty much will do either vertical or one notch depending on the bench. Because sometimes that vertical one is like damn near forward.
So you do like this?
Yeah, yeah.
That's solid.
And then kind of like read some stuff and saw some videos saying like, oh, if you actually notch it back a little bit, your shoulders are in a healthier position. I was like, okay, cool. So I went that way for a while. And then I looked at some behind the neck press studies, and they say just way more engagement of the rear delt and mid delt in behind the neck press. All that is just moving the path even more. And that really is just
Stretching
the
it
bench
more.
coming even more vertical. It's like, it turns it into more of that movement. So I've gone back to a more vertical overhead press.
So your range of motion for, do you lock out? 'Cause I tend to lock, but I wonder if it's better just to...
The locking out, it's all tricep. So if you're not really caring about this and you just want your delt, it doesn't really, that last like 15 degrees doesn't really matter.
That's a good point.
I think it's like strain on the joint that doesn't really benefit what I'm trying to grow, so I don't prioritize it. There it is.
Let go.
Yep, 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 yep. Easy.
All right. When I'm starting out the rep, why is that first rep? Why is getting the weight up so hard? Like,
Oh,
I can
yeah.
do two once my arms are up, but like...
Yeah, dude, it's because you're going from like a fucking dead stop, you know?
I
It's like
guess.
you just get it up, so you're like a little lower in the range of motion, and you have like zero elastic like response.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're coming down, there's like this potential energy in the tendons and stuff that kind of like helps you get it back up. It's the same thing with like, you try and do a vertical jump standing, or you try and do one taking one step, or you try and take one doing a little bit of run up. Like you get dramatically more elastic energy out of it. You know what I mean?
True. That's
From
true.
that little rebound. Let's see what the 125 say. This is typically typically how I discover new PRs is whatever weight is conveniently right in front of the bench that I'm working out at. If it's a weight I haven't lifted before, but I have to walk 10 feet to get the one that I should be doing, I'll probably try and go for a PR just so I don't have to go get that weight.
Come on.
Yeah, I got it.
Come on. Jesus Christ. Let's go. Come on, come on. Push, 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 push. Yes.
Ooh-wee. Haven't done that before. I'll take that.
That's insane. That's ridiculous.
Love a PR day.
125. You've never done that?
No.
What's your max been? 120s?
I think 120 is the most I've tried. I'm cooked. I don't like to 1 rep max. That's one thing that I've seen enough people tear their tendons, rip their pecs, where I'll 5 rep max all the time. But
if you're gonna ego lift to make it a set, you know.
Yeah, that one rep gets a little scary. Yes, sir. Oh, easy. Yeah. Yep. That left side's falling out.
Yeah.
It's trying to come out.
It feels like I'm doing single arm, like nearly at the same time.
Yeah.
But not fully.
The right's like has zero, like, it's not even like doing this.
Yeah.
But that left one, it's like your elbow's literally trying to come out.
Yeah.
That way. But I honestly think it's just gonna be lighter, like slightly lighter weight, and just like drilling,
really slowly,
drilling form to like keep your core and lats and everything engaged to keep you vertical.
I feel my body like falling out from me when I'm trying to push it, so.
Yeah, it's good weight though.
It's good weight, it's something.
Good shit, baby.
But good thing to work on.
Woo!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now what are we going into?
Lateral raises on cables. Hit some of these side delts. Got a good juicy pump. Let's hit it.
Honestly, one of my favorite exercises in the world. So if you look at the cable, look at the angle that the cable is down there, coming up to here, and then look at the fibers of his shoulder, how they're perfectly in line with the height of the cable. And you're just getting perfect across these striations. So this will like really get that middle delt, that middle to rear area perfectly. And then we're gonna bend a little bit more over and like blast the rest of this rear delt. So like with the shoulders, that front press that we just did, that overhead press, that works that front delt. Blasting the middles now. Next we'll do the rears. All heads of that shoulder are getting worked from the front to the back. How many did you get right there?
Oh no, 12?
12? Okay,
15.
so let's call it 15.
Yeah.
So we'll go for 15. So next set, if he can only do 11 before he fails, he's gonna stop, just take 5 breaths. You're only resting like 10, 15 seconds, and then you're gonna go again. Get another 2, 3, until you get up to 15.
Yeah.
Take as many pauses as you need.
Yeah.
Right? It's a rest pause technique. It's kind of like, you can think of it as partials, like it's a tool to go past failure.
Yeah.
This is my favorite tool to go past failure. I will also do partials and stuff, but rest pause is something that I've really done a lot the last year, and it's like made a night and day difference, especially in shoulder training.
Yeah.
Because shoulders, they recover a lot. They can handle a lot of stress, a lot of volume. You can take them really deep into failure a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, you're fresh again.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's worth really taking them deep into failure, in my opinion.
Have you ever done like trigger point on your forearms before?
What's that?
Trigger point therapy. So your forearm, I know this because I have really big hands. Like for my,
yeah, me too.
like I have bigger hands than I should for my body frame, and as a result, I've always over gripped everything.
Yeah.
So my forearms have never needed to train them. My arms have honestly never really needed to train all that much.
Yeah, you got juicy forearms.
It's just all because it all comes from the hands, because if I have bigger hands, I'm putting more force through them. But also just means that my forearms are like, my masseuse, who's like, she's done like thousands and thousands. She's like, you have the tightest forearms of any person I've ever felt. Like,
oh yeah?
They're always, so like, she told me there's like 4 pressure points inside your forearm. So here, let me see yours. You have one right here.
Yeah,
You have that one.
I see my thumb starting to fold in.
Exactly. So then you have this one right here.
Yeah.
Then you have your brachialis tendon right here.
Yeah.
And then you have this one, which like this one's honestly the most intense. You feel that through your whole arm.
Yeah.
If you take a lacrosse ball like this, or you just like, Leslie's probably not strong enough, so we'll cross out of the equation. Someone with ridiculous strength or a ball or something and just like mash it into that as hard
I
as
could
you
just
can.
go against the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You'll loosen it so much. You'll feel completely different. Like your entire, like if you press here to a point of like borderline failure and then here and hold down that compression where you feel it through your whole arm, and then you like feel your arm, this one will feel way lighter.
Yeah.
Like you'll feel way stronger again just because you've released all that. What happens is your tendons that align the muscle here, when you work your forearms a bunch, they glue together because of the heat. They sort of like melt into one. And so when you press into them, you're basically breaking them up, which loosens them and gets you strong again. So that's been the biggest.
So do you do that mid-workout, or what timing are you doing this?
Like if I'm getting a deep tissue, like that's usually where like my masseuse will focus a lot. Or if I'm doing like a trigger point session where I'm getting stretched and everything else, we'll focus on that. But
what kind of frequency? Like once a
week, ideally.
Okay.
Yeah, once every other week if I can, or just when I feel it. You know, like when I feel more tension in my forearms and stuff, which you'll feel it, man. Like you're
honestly,
it
that's
just
something
feels
I've
crazy
never
tight.
noticed.
No, it's 100%. Like I'm digging into this as hard as I can. The key is you'll feel it through your whole arm because it's all of your tendons. In the same way that if you do like that, like I'm not moving my hands. This is just the tendon that aligns it, and it intersects here, right in here, and then right in here. And if you can release those, your whole arm will feel like 1,000,000 times better.
Okay.
Like it was one of the crazy.
Yeah.
My masseuse is she's blind. She reads Braille.
Yeah.
Best like no one can touch her. She's like ridiculously good. So she knows she's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, mid-workout maybe, but I feel fine enough now, but like probably at the end of this, I would definitely put it on.
Yeah. So this is a lateral raise machine. Typically you'd sit in here and do them like this. We're gonna use it in a way you probably haven't seen it used before for the rear delts. So you're gonna come here, get one elbow on the pad. You can brace yourself on the other one right here. You're just gonna be trying to drive that elbow up towards the ceiling. Now the thing you wanna think about as a cue is imagine there being a rod just going through this joint and out the other side, fixing it in space. So you're rotating around it. You don't wanna be like twisting or rotating at all, except for around that shoulder joint. And that rear delt is what's gonna give you that rotation backwards. I really love this for the rear delt. Now, I've seen EMG studies that are really good on the behind the back kind of rear delt. I don't really know what you should call that, raise. I always would have thought doing this, you're gonna bring a lot of trap into it. It actually ends up being mostly rear delt, but you work with that. So that same kind of movement, I actually can't do it because I can't get the barbell around my ass. So this is a way for me to get that same thing without that.
Bro's so caked. You can't do it.
For all of these things, you want to pick the movement where you feel it most and where you feel in the target muscle the most. Don't just do some shit because I tell you, oh, this is what I really like to do, and you do it and you end up failing your ladder somewhere. It's like, oh, Austin said to do it. You want to really pick the movements where you're getting that best mind-muscle connection. So for Joseph, it's here. So and look at these shoulders. It works. You know what I mean? You figure out what works for you. Yeah. And you just drill that and drill that and drill that. And the new movements that you try, you really want to focus on just lightweight, get the mind muscle connection. Once you have it, then just kind of move up, move up, move up. And that's how you bring the new stuff in. But always do the stuff that you're feeling that failure point in the target.
Yeah. We always talk about there's certain exercises that just work better for certain kinds of people. I think one of the important variables just to call attention to is how good you are at stabilizing certain parts of your body. Like I'm not very good at stabilizing or accessing my lats. I noticed that. So full, vertical shoulder press is a bit trickier for me, but I'm pretty good at stabilizing my core. One of the reasons why I have big shoulders and why I have like a certain kind of strength in shoulders but not in others is because most of my shoulder development came from handstand push-ups, where I would just be up against the wall, and that's like so much core because your body's upside down. Yeah. But your lats are not engaged in that.
All right, so let's grab a 25 and a 35 because you're gonna be fatigued. So I grab the 35.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna do a pyramid up, pyramid down. We're gonna start lighter weight, then we're going to go to heavier weight, only like 12 to 15. Then we're gonna go even heavier weight, only at 8. So we're pyramided down, and then we're gonna work our way back up. Good shit. Beautiful set. Beautiful set.
Man, that's awesome.
All right. So that's the rear delts cooked. This is one of my favorite little structures to lift for those rear delts. Blast them at like every weight range, and by the end of it, you're fried.